What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Becoming a Practical Machinist. Rebecca Wolfinger.
I'm Kurtis Wolfinger.
Thanks for joining us again on another episode. So you're probably wondering, what the hell is going on over here? I thought you guys moved in and got everything straightened away. We did, but after living here and working here for a couple months, we realized there's certain things we didn't really like about the shop.
Yeah, and the flow wasn't going correctly, so you know, as you always do, continuous improvement. So we notated everything, and we're going to implement better processes and better flow.
Yep.
And at the same time, we're going to make it beautiful.
Yep. And if you guys have been following along, we did a rebranding of like a World War II themed, redesigned the website. It looks really beautiful in my opinion. I think I did a good job.
I think you did.
So we're bringing in those colors, you know, the deep reds, the army green. We're also spraying like up into our attic rafters and everything, the ceilings a bright white. We noticed that even though we had LED light strips probably in every single section, it just wasn't bouncing enough light down.
Yeah, evenly.
And when you're inspecting parts and looking at things for fine details, that kind of stuff matters.
Yeah,
having more light.
Having to take the inspection area and move it over there every time you need to, you know, inspect something, just to bring it back for organization. A little bit of chaos.
Yep. So after this episode, you guys will probably be seeing our new machine arrive. And after that, hopefully we buckle down on which lathe we're buying, and that will be coming on the property.
Yep, that's exciting.
Yeah, so, you know, it was a good point for us to kind of stop, put a pause on accepting RFQs and just focus on making it beautiful, making it functional, and we're going to be rearranging anyways to play musical chairs to get the machines in here. So might as well just go ahead and do it now.
Yeah, do it now because it gets expensive when you're trying to move around multiple machines at one time.
Yeah.
So just have the riggers come out one time when they have to set it down instead of, you know, multiple times.
This is a crazy year for us. Like, we're growing so much, so fast. Not only just like the machines coming in, but like changes to the shop. Not only this, but we got like Duke Energy, who's the power supplier down here. They're going to come out. We're going to have them put in a separate meter for this garage so we can go up to, I think it's either 300 or 400 amps. So the garage has its own service, which is going to be huge for having more machines in here. You can get it off the meter from the house. And
then that also would help with like business expenses. You can count that because it's metered here separately.
You know exactly what the cost is going to be.
Way more accurate.
Yeah, so our tax lady is going to love that portion. Here comes the little helpers. All right, guys, let's get started. You guys ready to see it? I think it's going to look really nice with the bottom half of the shop green and then ceiling white. All right, we've been painting for a couple days now. Finally got the majority of the front of the shop done. Ceiling is completely done. Oh my gosh, guys, it is such a huge difference. Let me flip the camera around and show you. I mean, it's just incredible how much the white really brightens it up in here. Makes it feel taller. And it is an absolute mess in here right now, and it's kind of embarrassing and overstimulating, but such is life. You gotta have chaos before you can have perfection, I guess. But I was laughing over here, like our material cart. We took it outside when I was spraying the ceiling, and I was like, you know what? I just don't want to get the particles falling from the ceiling coming back down. And of course, if you live in the South, you probably know what's going on outside your house. It is all yellow. And Mother Nature's been raw dogging us with pollen. So like everything is covered in yellow dust now. So I brought it in and I was laughing so hard because the whole point of taking it outside was to keep it clean. So ironic situation. Now I'm moving on to the back portion of the shop, which we don't really show people very much. It's been a catch-all for a little bit. But it's not going to be the most enjoyable portion because you have so much conduit and all this stuff like on the walls back here, like the phase converter. But slowly been knocking it out and edging out the ceiling. Hopefully I'll be able to hit that tonight. That's what she said. But yeah, it's coming together, guys. It's just slow and steady, but it's definitely worth the effort. I mean, I love it. Guys, guess what? It is finished. Let's check it out. All right, guys, now if you watched my recent rebranding video, you know that we went with a World War II themed new logo, and we carried that branding into the machine shop. That's where you're gonna get this army green color. You're gonna notice on the walls, we got World War II propaganda posters for the manufacturing industry. So the biggest change up front here is, if you remember, we used to have a toolbox here and a desk. Well, we were finding out there just was not enough room for Kurtis and I to work here together. We were running into each other. If I needed to print a travelers or shipping labels, we were like up in each other's space all the time. So what we did is we took everything out, and I went on Marketplace and I got these really nice metal desks. You know, they're from like the 40s, 50s, 60s era. And you can get them for like next to nothing online. They're solid steel, wood top. I mean, you can stand on top of these and you'll be okay. So if you want to bring metal over here and, you know, tool holders or tools while you're programming, these desks are going to be able to support it compared to like something you're going to buy off Amazon. So let's go back here next. All right, my friends, check it out again. I mean, seriously, just look at the paint color in here and the amount of light from this white ceiling mounting it back down. But if you remember, this is the original table that we did start with, and we always intended to keep it right into the middle here. So you might see there's a machine sitting there. Stay tuned. There's a future episode on that. It showed up while we were mid-renovation. So machine here, VF4, and eventually a lathe that's going to go sitting right behind me. And you'll notice it's kind of like a horseshoe, so that this table is right in the middle. So it's a catch-all for working on parts. And of course, we're keeping a surface plate here for in-process inspection, so we don't have to carry stuff and zip-zag throughout the shop. Let's keep going. Come on back, guys. Let me show you a brand new piece of equipment we got. We just bought a laser engraver with the conveyor, so when we do high production, we can automate this step, and it's going to feed itself through into a bin. Of course, you guys probably recognize this guy. It's a 3D printer. And then this is a really cool piece of equipment. If you've ever worked in the hospitality industry, it's called a speed rack, but great for vertical storage, or it's on wheels too. You can move parts around very easily. So let's go back here. All right, you guys might remember I was saying that this back area used to be the catch-all, and it was going to be a pain in the ass to paint because of all the conduit and the rotary phase converter back there. Check out this transformation, because this is probably hands down my favorite part so far. Come on. Sorry if you guys can't hear me. It just started thunderstorming. But when designing this area, I really wanted to create a tool crib that was going to be organized and sleek and clean. So what I did is I invested into enclosed cabinets, like $120, $100, $100. And of course, you guys recognize the Husky toolboxes. Last I checked, I think they were like $250 to $300. So just a couple $100 into creating this really nice tool crib. Also invested into metal tool holders, American made, so that we can have pre-assembled tools with custom tags, so everything is labeled ready to go. And if we go right behind me into this other corner, you're gonna see we also have additional tall black cabinet. And of course, guys, all of this stuff is on wheels, that's on the ground. So we have another coolant spill. It's easy to move, mop it up, clean, or when we get ready to move to the next facility, just push and go. All right, as we are coming back to the front of the shop, you're gonna recognize the garage door right behind me. I went ahead and I painted it green. It was nasty. There was no amount of scrubbing that was gonna save it. Throw some paint up on it, call it a day. But you're gonna recognize bandsaw, material storage rack on wheels, and then of course the shipping department. Keep it kind of simple. We have a rack with all the supplies on top of it, a table, and then some storage totes for when we have really heavy pieces that we deliver to our local customers. But yeah, another cool poster. Check it out. All right, guys, that wraps up our quick little machine shop renovation tour. I really hope that this episode has inspired you, that even if you're starting at home in your 2-car garage, that it's okay to take the extra time to invest in some paint, some posters, some furniture, organization, and have pride in your company. You know, if you're making videos, taking pictures, or even if your customers are stopping by, this is an extension of your company. You know, you want to put the best foot forward. You want to look professional and clean. And I don't know about you, but I really feel like this is a chef's kiss. It looks so nice now. I've looked forward to working here every single day. But thank you guys so much for joining me on today's episode, and I will catch you on the next episode of Becoming a Practical Machinist. Bye, guys.